Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the field of view and resolution of Fatshark type of goggles and about how they affect your choices when you want to buy any of these goggles. So this video is going to be quite long, and but there will be some flight videos that I've done with some of my goggles for you to pass the time while you listen to me talking about field of view and resolution. So enjoy. I want to talk about the field of view of Fatshark type of goggles. Field of view is basically the size of the screen that you can see in front of you when you wear the goggles. So it's like a square box if it's a 4x3 type of image, or rectangular box if it is 16 by 9. So when you put on your goggles, you are basically looking at a box, and everything that moves in the box, you're trying to move using your sticks. So you want to get your quad moving from one spot to another spot inside the screen. So imagine if you have a bigger box, you can move a ball around the box much easier than if you have a smaller box. So when you have a smaller box and you move your transmitter sticks, and you have to squint your eyes to see all the details in the small box, it's going to be harder for you to make the quad goes from one point to the other point while you're moving your sticks, because it's harder for you to see where you're going. So as the box gets a bit bigger, it's much easier for you to move the image from one spot to another spot in the box itself. So basically, the smaller the box, the harder it is to fly. And as you move to a bigger box, your movement of the sticks will become more natural and much easier to move the sticks, and because it's much easier for you to see the image on the screen. So assuming that the resolution is the same, you need a bigger box if you want to fly much easier and more naturally. So from my testing, I find that 30 degrees field of view, like the Dominator V3, is the minimum that you can go, and the maximum point of field of view of a Fatshark type of goggles is about 50. So in between 30 to 50, I find that the field of view of between 32 to 42, there is more natural for flying. It's much easier to fly in between those 2 points. So I have Attitude V4 and Attitude V3. They are 32 degrees field of view, and I have the Htv3, which is the 42 degrees field of view. And I also have the SJRG01, which is the 50 to 55 degrees field of view. So I find that the best field of view is between 32 to 42. It's more natural when you fly with in between those 2 points. So with a bigger field of view, like I mentioned earlier, it's more natural for you to move the sticks around because you can see much easier of the quadcopter on the screen. As you go smaller, you need to have a greater stick skills if you want to fly smaller screens. So that's basically what field of view is about. It's the ability to see an object inside the box and moving it around using your transmitter sticks. So the bigger the box, the easier for you to see, and the easier it is for you to move the sticks, and it feels more natural. As the field of view gets smaller, it's harder to see, it's harder to move the sticks. Now I want to talk about resolution of the Fatshark type of screen. So the minimum resolution is really 640 by 480 because that's the analog video that comes from the quad camera. But anyway, with resolutions, the higher the resolution, the much easier it is for you to see the image on the screen. And because of the clearer image, the picture is more defined, that you can see trees, bushes, and so on. So the more you can see, the easier for you to fly and the faster you can go. So if you have say a 32-degree field of view screen and a 42 degrees field of view screen, if you have a 640 by 480 resolution or 800 by 600 resolution, if you put them in a smaller screen, then because the picture is further from you, the resolution will be much better because that's how your eye sees the picture, because it's a distance away and it's smaller, so it's clearer than in the 42 field of view. So just remember this: if you have a bigger screen and a smaller screen, if they have the same resolution, the smaller screen will always have better resolution. So in terms of resolution, you need to know that the clearer the picture, the much easier it is for you to fly, and the better you will fly. So in terms of FOV, which is field of view, and resolution, let's combine these two elements together and talk about it. So, as you note earlier, that the bigger the field of view, the much easier it is for you to fly in FPV. So, of course, the higher resolution, the better it is. But with the 800 by 600 screen resolution, there is clearly a limit as to how big it will go before it loses the advantage of the higher density pixel of the screen. So I'm not sure what the upper limit is, but then anyway there should be an upper limit. But in any event, if you have a bigger screen, and you have a higher resolution, that's the best that you can get with an FPV type of goggles. Also, you also need to look at the quality of the screen, whether it has a wide dynamic range, it gives you proper brightness and contrast in colors. So with that combined together, then you will be able to understand what to choose for yourself. So really, if you look at the FOV of 32 to 42, you can choose any of the screen in between that, because you will be able to fly very comfortably. So let's talk about a few examples. As you are aware, the Fatshark has just released the Fatshark HDO. It has a 37-degree field of view, and it has a higher resolution than the 800 by 600. So in relation to the elements and concept that we just discussed about field of view and resolution, so as you can see, because it has an OLED screen, which is the OLED screen, and it has better dynamic range color contrast and brightness. So you will note that it will have a very good screen, very good resolution, and the FOV is between 32 and 42, so it's easy, comfortable to fly with. So that's why the Fatshark HDR is currently the best goggles out there in the market. But there's other alternatives in the market in terms of field of view and resolution. Let's go to the next example. The next example is the Fatshark Dominator V3, which is currently still available to buy. It has a 30 degrees field of view, and it has 800 by 600 or 400 screen. I can't remember whether it's 800 by 600, but anyway, if you look through the screen, very clear images and video. So it has the best 30 degree field of view screen out there. But like I mentioned earlier, 30 degrees is on the lower limit, and preferably it should be 32 degrees. So 30 degrees with a very good screen will give you a good flight experience, but maybe it's not suitable for some type of flying, like flying through gates or racing. Some people do use it for racing, but it's a bit too small. So that's Dominator V3. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is the Additive V3 and the Additive V4. They have the same field of view of 32 degrees, but the screen is 640 by 480. So comparing that with the Dominator V3, the screen is much bigger, but the image is not as clear, and you can see that it's a bit washed out. But because it's only slightly bigger than the 30 degrees field of view, so it's still alright. You can still see it, and people do use them for racing, and the Additive V4 is still available for purchase. Next up, I want to talk about the Aomway Commander V1. The Aomway Commander V1 has 800 by 600 resolution. It has also 32 degrees field of view. So the native or the default ratio is 16 by 9. It's quite big when you look through the goggles. The image is very clear. It's very similar with Dominator V3, but it's slightly less clear because the field of view is a bit bigger. But still, it's still clearer than the Additive V3 and Additive V4. You can also change that to a 4 by 3 ratio, but by changing that to 4 by 3 ratio, you drop the FOV to about 30, so it's a bit smaller. Anyway, this Aomway Commander V1 is still between 32 to 42 degrees field of view. It's high resolution, so it's still a good pair of goggles to get, and they're still currently available. The next screen that I want to talk about is the Htv3 Screen. So the Htv3 Screen is 42 degrees field of view, and I have one of those goggles, and to me it feels very natural using the 42 degrees field of view, and because it has 800 by 600 resolution, so it's clearer than the Additive V4 because now it's bigger. But and it is a good pair of goggles because of the resolution. It's not as clear as in the Dominator V3 or Aomway Commander V1, but it's clearer than Additive V3 and V4, and you can see the surrounding, and if your camera is good enough, the image is very clear. So it's very natural when using the 42 degrees field of view and the 800 by 600 resolution. So you can see that with any of these pair of goggles you can get. So it's really up to you where's your budget point and which one fit your face. So in terms of field of view and resolution, which one would I recommend? So before I recommend any of those goggles which are currently available, I want to define the person who will be using this type of goggles. So I'm going to put them in two categories. One is the casual flyer. By casual flyer, I mean that you only come into this hobby of quadcopter flying just for fun. You just want to have a FPV experience and you don't want to go any further. You just want to take the quadcopter and go to your local park or to the front yard or backyard and you just fly around and you're happy with that. And you don't want to go on any further as to improving your skills, flying racing, flying freestyle and so on. So that's casual flyer. The next category is really what I call an entry-level flyer or beginner flyer. These are the people that would eventually improve on their FPV and get to a point where they're more advanced and they'll stay there and they will start flying in that particular space. So these are the people who can improve very quickly and can outgrow a very inexpensive pair of goggles. So if that's the case and you can see where your journey is going, then you need to find a pair of goggles that you will eventually end up using when you're more advanced. So these are the two categories that I want to talk about. So the first category, the casual flyer, I think I would recommend either the SJRG01 or the Eachine EV100. The SJRG01 has the biggest point of field of view of about 50 to 55, and EV100 is about 25 to slightly less than 25 field of view. So the EV100 small screen is compensated by the higher resolution so that you can still see the images clearly in a small screen. You have to have a clear image in a small screen for you to be able to see clearly and be able to fly FPV. Whereas on the other hand, the SJRG01 has a bigger screen but lower resolution, but the lower resolution is compensated by the bigger screen. You can still fly around. So the smaller screen with clearer image is similar to the bigger screen with lower resolution because it's still hard to fly and it can only fly slowly. So they are really good for casual flyer at a price point that is much easier to buy and you won't lose much when you don't want to continue further. So I would recommend SJRG01 for all the Eachine EV100 depending on your preference whether you want bigger screen or smaller screen. Both are flyable. In relation to the beginner or the entry-level FPV pilots, I would recommend you getting the Fatshark HDO if you can afford it because you will eventually get there. But if you don't want to buy HDO now, you can wait for a couple of years or 1 year later when the price will drop down. In the meantime, if you want to get something goggles, I would recommend either the Fatshark HD3 or the Aomway Commander V1 in terms of the field of view and resolution. I think they have a very similar price point. So if you go for Aomway, you really go for higher resolution, but you don't mind the smaller screen. So if you go for HD3, you go for lower resolution but bigger screen. Both are flyable, both are good. So it depends on your price point and your preference. Of course, there's the Aomway Commander V2. It's slightly more expensive than HD3. You can also consider that. But anyway, in summary, it's really about the comfortable field of view and resolution. You cannot go less than 30. Anything above that is fine. And it really depends on which type of goggles fit your face and where you want to go and how much you want to spend. So hope you guys get something out of this video, and please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. So until next time, please remember quadcopter is not rocket science. See you.